welcome to another Wigan Watch Live, where I look at what's going on around Wigan. We've got various redevelopments. We've also got an appeal this week. We've got me pulling a pint in some of you probably didn't even know existed. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on. So we will crack on with the video, which is going to be from this, well, since I last did a Wigan Watch, as to what is going on in Wigan Town Centre. And there is quite a bit. Hi mate, you okay? Do you think Wigan will get better? Well, it can't get worse, Michael, so yeah, I hope it does. I really, really do. I'm terrified that it may not, but I am desperately hoping it will do well, because at the end of the day, it's better for everyone, isn't it? It's a nicer place to live. It's everything is wonderful. The children are playing in the parks. The dogs are running around all happy, and we're all smiling. We can go to the shops. We can go to the cinemas. Yeah, the whole thing. Well, it has to get better, hasn't it? That's basically the crux of it. So what we're going to do is we've got some very important news as well that's brought this week involving that place behind me, which is the Market Hall. Also involving the Queen's Hall as well. So nothing to do with the church, although that will be coming up in a future Wigan Watch. Evening Toff, hope you're well. Yep, so we're going to crack on straight away with my first video, and this is the usual Wigan Watch stuff where I walk around various parts over the past couple of weeks and film various bits and pieces and give my opinion on it. And then we'll have a look at a letter. I got a letter. Ooh, a letter. It's not a fun letter. It's from the council. To be fair, it's not actually a bad letter. I know, I'm surprised as well. Anyway, shall we crack on and we'll get this going. Are you getting any audio on this? Why is it so small? No video sound, no. Right, okay then. Forget that happened. Come back to you on that one. Just let me do something. Why is it doing that? I don't know why it's doing that. Let's have a look. The first big news is that this bill. Right, okay. Right, I'm going to have to redo that one. So we will move on to the letter. So now basically Wigan Council have gone back to the old logo as well, which I think is really, really good. Shame Wigan Rugby won't do the same thing. But yeah, we've got this rather swanky thing there. And this is the letter. Dear Sir, Madam. So it's not a personal letter, although it was sent to the shop. Galleries Redevelopment Project. We are writing to discuss... Oh no. Oh, what's going on? Hang on. Doing two things at once here. Spare me 2 ticks. There we go. Right. We are writing to you with an exciting update on the Galleries Redevelopment Project. Agreements have been signed between Wigan Council, Cityheart and Galliford Try, unlocking the next construction phase of our new neighbourhood. The new Market Hall is at the heart of our plans and is the focus for these forthcoming works, which is good news. This is exactly what we want. We need the Market Hall to be in the centre of Wigan, because that's where it should be, and not where it is at the minute. There's some weird stuff going on near the market as well, but more of that when I get this video sorted. I'm currently re-rendering it, so bear with us. PP O'Connor, who have been managing extensive site investigations and discharge of planning conditions at the site since February 2024, will hand over the site to Galliford Ty on the 18th of October 2024. Extensive dust, noise and vibration monitoring will continue to be in the place throughout the works to minimise the disruption as much as possible. To ensure the public are kept aware of the progress on site, a regular newsletter will be distributed throughout the construction works. To be included on that mailing list, please provide your email address to galleriesredevelopment@wigan.gov.uk. A paper copy of the newsletter will also be available at the project exhibition stand in Wigan Market Hall. Wigan Council and Cityheart will also continue to proactively issue press releases at significant milestones throughout the works. These can be accessed online here, and basically it's Cityheart's website. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a link up. If you're watching this on repeat, the link will probably already be up in the descriptions along with various other bits and pieces that you need. We hope this update is helpful, and thank you once again for your continued support of the delivery of this exciting project for Wigan. Yours faithfully, Aidan Thatcher, Director of Place, Wigan Council, and Darren Jones, Development Director of Cityheart. And yeah, so it's a brief letter. It's not the longest letter in the world, but it's long enough for us to know that this actually might be happening. I mean, you know, breath not being held, obviously, because, well, that would be a silly thing to do, hold your breath and all that. Oh, do I have to wait now for it to update? Oh no, I've rendered it, now it's got to update it. So what we'll do is we will crack on with another part of this, technical issues. So we will now crack on with, it's live, what do you expect? We will go on to the next video. So this video is regarding the Queen's Hall. Now the Queen's Hall in Wigan is quite a spectacular building, and it's got this amazing tower which looks genuinely really good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try another video. This is a different video. Hopefully this one will work, and we will see what occurs. So yeah, wish me luck on this. No, it's doing it again. Right, why are we getting no sound? Why the image is so small? I don't understand this. I don't know what's going on. Alright, fine. Just bear with me a minute, or 5. This has never happened before. And I do a lot of live broadcasts. This doesn't normally happen. Let's have a look. Yep, that's working. That's working. Right, okay. Why is it so small? That doesn't make sense. Ugh. Right, reckons it's put it up. So shall we try and download it and see if it works better this time? But for some reason it's stuttering. I don't know why it's stuttering. Right. So why are they full size? And that's not full size. Right, let's go into the first big news is that this building now seems to be watertight. Okay, so that's working. But only on my phone. Right, yeah, we're having technical difficulties. It is very much like GB News. I often say this channel's like GB News, but it's definitely like GB News today. Why is it not working? What's it going on? Wigan Watch video properties. Why is there no audio?
But what they are about.
Ah, that's why.
Queen's Old Cupola, the
Why is
door
it
bit
not
at the
full
top,
size?
is in need of some major repairs, and they are trying to raise money in order to do it. So we've got all the information here of what needs doing, which is quite a lot of work, and as we know, this kind of work is very, very expensive.
Okay.
And I imagine it's probably not been helped with the demolition directly opposite as well, with all the vibrations and whatnot. There you are. Tells you there, built in 1906. It's been a landmark of Wigan for many years, but crumbling masonry and stonework plus the growth of vegetation.
I think I've sussed it. Something had gone a bit weird on my thing, so I'm going to get rid of that. And then I'm going to add it again. Actually, what I'll do is I'll do this so you can look at me, watch me do it. Oops, sneak preview. There we go. Right. Yeah, it's I put the little lock on it. That's what I've done wrong. So we should now be able to no. Dun-dun-dun-dun. Right.
I'll tell you what, some people's mobility scooters, they're out of this world.
Go up to that. Sadly, it's not what I want, but it's working. Get rid of that. Yes, I want to get rid of that. Oh, GB News, eat your heart out. Right. Right, okay. So I'm going to have to go all the way back. Right. And we'll go with the Wigan Watch opening bit. Grrr. This might work.
Well, the first big news is that this building now seems to be watertight again. But the main big news is that the council have revealed that work is imminently going to start on the new market hall, which is going to be right the way up to here and go all the way down to the entrance of the bus station. So hopefully we'll see some builders coming along with some cranes and some building work. Very, very exciting times indeed. A couple of big questions. One is this concrete that's been left out for so long, that is internal concrete, fit to build on, or will this have to come down first? But well, the first big news is that this building now seems to be watertight again. But the main big news is that the council have revealed that...
Yeah, I've muted myself, haven't I? Right, okay, what I'm saying is, this is 17 minutes in. This is the stuff I filmed regarding Wigan Watch and the centre of Wigan, including a few other bits and pieces, but there's no flood stuff on there. If you want to watch the flood stuff, there'll be a link in the description to the 2 flood videos I did, one of which I think everyone's seen anyway because it's kind of gone semi-viral. And I've not been to Wigan Pier and I've not been to the other place either. This has been a disaster, Toff. Thank you for pointing that out. It's just what I needed. But don't forget, you can click on in the description and go straight to the bits you're interested in. You don't have to watch this nonsense. Well, this bit anyway. Anyway, shall we do it?
Well, the first big news is that this building now seems to be watertight again. But the main big news is that the council have revealed that work is imminently going to start on the new market hall, which is going to be right the way up to here and go all the way down to the entrance of the bus station. So hopefully we'll see some builders coming along with some cranes and some building work. Very, very exciting times indeed. A couple of big questions. One is this concrete that's been left out for so long, that is internal concrete, fit to build on, or will this have to come down first? But the main thing is, something's about to happen. And yes, the market hall is the only bit I really, really, really want to be up and running for all the market traders who are still struggling all the way down there in that building. But fingers crossed, it will be up and running fairly soon. Here at the Cherry Gardens, as you can see, it's looking really smart. And this is what I was on about when I was on about the blue. It's not grey, it's a blue colour, which is really smart. But what's going on with this house down here, that's more important at the minute. There's definitely scaffolding that's there. It looks like they've took some of the ivy off the building, but it's not looking in a good way. I do fear for this building, I'll be honest with you, quite a lot. It's moderately terrifying what's going on with it, because it's such a nice building. Please, someone, sort it out. Here we are back at Marsh Green. I mean, these are flying up. They've got windows in, which I noticed a couple of days ago, and it's got the roof on as well. So pretty much watertight. People will be living in here in a fortnight. Well, maybe not a fortnight, but by the hell, I'll tell you what, they definitely cracked on, even round the other side. So we've got brick on the outside now, which is going up. But as we look at the other side, which is the bit we looked at first when we looked at the foundations and everything, they're up to the second floor as well. A little bit further behind, but definitely cracking on. It's amazing. Look, they've even got the windowsills in and the doors and everything. I mean, my God, these guys are quick. And they've built the wall. Done a good job, actually, to be fair. But the better news is they're going to actually build the rest of the market hall. It's imminent. How excited are you? It will be interesting to see how much of this remains when they start the rebuild, or whether it all has to come down. I'm slightly worried that this is internal concrete that's been left out to the elements for a considerable length of time. As you can see, that looks like rust stains coming down. Anyway, hopefully it won't delay things too much. So it's nearly midnight on the 18th of October after a very agreeable evening in various drinking establishments, this is me to say, and I walk past the Omniplex and I see this. Now that to me looks like a digital screen. Now is that for the Omniplex, or is that a new advertisement screen that's been put up? And you wonder what the blue lights are for. There's something going on over here at the traffic lights near Taco Bell. So please seem very interested in the car in front. Don't know what's going on. I will let you know if I find out. I've had a lot of fuss about the scaffolding coming down around Hay Hall. Now that looks like it's still there. So if you do see it coming down, say me a wasted trip, then please let me know, and we'll have a look at Hay Hall now the outer work has been done. Still progress, but just not as we know it. Now this is something I'd heard about, but I wasn't sure. This is the Welly Loop line, which I did walk on a while ago on a previous Wigan Watch in the summer when I'm in autumn. And as you can see, there's some drainage pipes, and if we go on the other side of this bridge, you see they're levelling it off and doing some pretty serious engineering works here. And the rumour is that this is going to become like a tarmacked or stone clad or whatever footpath rather than a mud path, which is what it currently is, which is all well and good, but it does make me worry about other people who might want to use this and just disturb all the peace and quiet that people are trying to get when they go for a walk. Opening soon in Makinson's Arcade, Grace Accessories, formerly of the Market Hall. Moving on from the information that we got a couple of weeks ago, or a week ago, whenever it was, we've got some new cabins appearing. Now I assume these cabins are the cabins for the people who are actually going to build the market itself. The blue cabins seem to have disappeared, so we've got some nice new shiny cabins. Got a lot more going on around here as well, although this isn't the area that the new market is going to be at, so we'll have a look at that. So we are at the new market area. They've tied it up a little bit, a few bits and pieces have disappeared. There seems to be some large rocks over there. Keep my eyes on it, obviously. Bit of a tragedy. The park, or the wildlife area, has been bulldozed where the trees were growing and the pond was, which is a big shame really, because I thought that was good for nature. Meanwhile at the college I can't really see much difference, although there's some flashy lights there, so there's something going on. But yeah, that building's still there, unless that's going to stay and they're actually going to build the new building around that building. Well, I can't see that, but well, they've done it before. Environmentally friendly, I suppose. There's quite a bit of change around here. They've opened this up, moved this wall back to where the actual wall was, and apparently they've opened up the side here to get into the market. UK government, remember Tory, levelling up. Oh yeah, there you go. We've now got a walkway that takes you into the market. I mean, it doesn't really save you any time though, does it? Is it just me being... I don't see the point of this. What it needs to do is cut right the way across the building site and go over there to where the bus station is. I don't get why they've done this. Seems a lot of money. Okay, they've not had to do the floor because the floor is the original floor. but that seems a lot of money for very little reward. Anyway, if it helps the market traders, that's great. Very weird though. And there's activity, quite a lot of activity. You've got them getting rid of the remainder of the rubble that they dug up. We've got a pretty decent meaty looking piece of equipment over there rolling along. And then we've got that in the basement, which is new. Sadly, this is all the wrong side. We need the stuff to be going on where the market is. Although that's imminent, isn't it? There's still nothing here, but it will be soon, a new market hall. Yahoo! So here we are looking at the current site, which the redevelopment is about to imminently begin. Although that bit down there isn't scheduled to be done for a while. The main bit is this bit here. And I've got some interesting information about that building there, which is still there. At least a couple of floors are anyway. Do you want to look at a map? I like a map.
Now, one thing I feel like I say a lot is, I'm not going to hold my breath. And it just feels like that's all I talk about, is just not holding my breath. But the problem you've got is, well, it's just taken, how long has it took to get where we are now? I'd just like to also, you know, full disclaimer, just like to say that it was people from Wigan Council who organised the first 15 minutes of this broadcast. So yeah, I'm just going to disclaim myself from the shambles that was. But yeah, we had a few things there that were worthy of going back on. The first one is the house, which is, you know, in severe neglect state. The roof's alright, but the rest of it just seems to be rotting underneath. And someone looks like they've taken quite a bit of greenery off it in order to, I don't know, I don't always think that that's a good idea. I think sometimes if you have ivy or something on a house, it protects the brickwork underneath from rain, especially if the house isn't actually being looked after. So taking it off might actually increase the risk of it actually collapsing at some point. But anyway, I'm not a structural engineer, despite what people think. I'm just thinking what people think. But anyway, let's not worry about that. The other one is the college. Now, for weeks and weeks and weeks, the bit that's left, still stood up, that bit of the building, has been there for weeks, and they've not touched it. And I'm like, well, what's going on? Have they, you know, is there a problem with the build? Or I come up with this plan, or this idea when I was actually filming, and actually said it. I do this, I think, and then immediately blurred it out. A bit like Donald Trump, only not, I don't advise people to drink Dettol. But yeah, it was, is that going to be part of the new build? Because, as we know, the Market Hall, the new one, is going to be built on the site of Market Gate, which itself was built on the site of the precinct, or the, whatever it was called. We'll find out in a minute, because there's another video coming up about that. And I'm like, it doesn't really make sense, does it? Because that building's 1960s, it's old, it's probably not very warm, so why would you incorporate that into a green building? But then, hang on a minute, it's a green building, so maybe that's why they're doing it. Anyway, we'll see. I'll probably go next time and it'll be gone. And then that weird thing they've done for the Market Hall, where you can walk up the side of the market and then go through the doors near where the pet stall is, and the watch repairman, and the shoe shop, and the underwear and sock shop thing, and you can walk in there now, which is great. But it's easier, particularly if it's pouring down with rain and blowing a gale, just to go in where the little sitting area is, near the Bean Cafe and Cloonan's and all that kind of thing. Because that's literally, if that's your Market Hall, you've got it the wrong way around, haven't you? If that's the Market Hall, and this is the entrance to Cloonan's, why would you walk all the way up here to go into another entrance where, I just don't get it. What they should have done is a direct walk across from the bus station directly to that door. But of course you've got all this building site behind me and a massive hole, so it's unsafe for people to fall down. That's the bit I was on about as well. Is that actually going to be safe to build on? Because it's been left out for quite a considerable length of time. Anyway, we will find out. What else has been going on then? I mean, don't forget you can join in the chat. Do you actually disagree with everything I say? Do you think that this is the best thing that's ever happened to Wigan and it's been handled professionally? I ask because I am curious to find out what people actually think. Because it's all well and good being kind of opinionated and being surrounded by people who agree with what you say, but it's nice to have people who disagree. Because I've always said, you know, with the local government and national governments, you only get a good one if you've got a decent opposition. And we haven't got either at the minute. So yeah, if you feel like you wish to comment, then please do. You also get a shout out at the end as well. On my dying gratitude. Was in Wigan today. It has taken time to get where it is. Yeah, trick or treats. We've had two very aptly named people. Oopsie Daisy, who was on earlier, when I was completely messing up because of the Wigan Council running it, the show. And then trick or treats when it's Halloween in a couple of days. Well, a week and a bit. So yeah, it has took a long while. And one of my big arguments has always been, say I'd won, you know, 130 million, random number, don't know where I got that from, on the Euro lottery, and I went to Wigan Council and said, I want to buy the galleries, and I want to knock it down, and then I want to build a cinema, a bowling alley, a hotel, a food court, a brand new market hall, and 800 odd apartments on the site. They'd be like, right, okay then, have you got the money to actually build the items that you've mentioned? And I'd be like, well, kind of, you know. Would they let me knock it down? No, they'd only let me knock it down if I knew I had the money. And that seems to be the issue. Now the council denied, and I've got no proof that the council have ever run out of money, but the council have always denied that they've had no money. But people assume that they have run out of money, but now they've finally got some more money. But I don't know. I always said that BECGI, Beijing, would pull out if there was no money, profits in it for them, which there wasn't when the HS2 was abruptly halted at Birmingham. I think that had a massive effect. But I could be wrong, and I hope I'm wrong. I want what's best for Wigan. And what's best for Wigan is a vibrant town centre with lots of people in it. Yeah, shopping's never going to be the same again. You could never have filled that place with shops ever again. There are other shops that probably won't be here this time next year. I can think of at least 3 that nationally are struggling that we have in Wigan. So yeah, there's a lot of changes on the high street, and there's various reasons for that. Hopefully, this Labour government will actually come up with something that's actually worthwhile. Yeah, right. Anyway, in the words of Monty Python, and now for something completely different.
Here in Queen's Hall, they've not got one, they've actually got 2 blue plaques. But what they're about. Queen's Hall Cupola, the dome bit at the top, is in need of some major repairs, and they are trying to raise money in order to do it. So we've got all the information here of what needs doing, which is quite a lot of work, and as we know, this kind of work is very, very expensive, and I imagine it's probably not been helped with the demolition directly opposite as well, with all the vibrations and whatnot. There you are. Tells you there, built in 1906. It's been a landmark of Wigan for many years, but crumbling masonry and stonework plus the growth of vegetation has made it unsightly and hazardous. There are also repairs needed to the roof, windows. The architecture report shows what needs to be done. So yeah, not great, but these old buildings, well, they cost money, unfortunately. But you can actually help. Donations, you can come in and drop money into a bucket. You can do a standing order, have a fundraising event, pray for the success as well, although it's not very financial, that one, to be fair. So if you can help financially for this absolutely gorgeous landmark, then please do.
Now, just to clarify, I wasn't dissing praying. I've just said it's not much of a financial gain. But no, the Queen's Hall Tower in particular is an iconic, monumentally iconic place. It's a landmark. It has been since it was built. It was before the Galleries was built. It was very prominent in the town centre, as it is again now the Galleries has gone. I do worry that some disturbance may have been caused by the demolition, but there's not a lot you can do about that. I mean, demolition is demolition. It's generally work that requires people to demolish, and that involves vibrations, whether it's the peckers that go into the concrete or whether it's the bits falling down. If you look at the opening sequence of this show, you'll see the two major demolition events that I caught, particularly the canopy, but also the little stair shaft roof coming down as well, and they were both filmed from Queen's Hall. So Queen's Hall have been pretty kind to me for this course so far, and I think anything that anyone can do to help would be good. I'm also going to write about it in the Wigan Today newspaper. I write in the Wigan Observer. I have a column. You can watch it. You can read it on Wigan Today, either at the website. If you click on news or click on opinion, you'll find my various columns about various different things. Or you can go to their social media, where they often post a link directly to it, which is on X and on Facebook, Wigan Today. But yeah, I think it's important that buildings like the Queen's Hall should be saved. I never realised when I moved to Wigan that when the Galleries was built, the bus station, which was the old, basically the sheds that went down, there were three sheds. There was the first shed where you walked in and out, then you had to cross over, there was another shed, and then another shed further down, a shed being a very long bus shelter. But that was only built because of the Wigan building the Galleries. More of that when we get to the map. The map is fascinating. I might do more on the map, but you'll see what I'm on about in a bit. Prior to that, Wigan had a very large Methodist hall, which ironically is Queen's Hall. If you look at maps and you look back in time, you'll see that the Queen's Hall actually had a huge square bit on the back of it, but at a jaunty angle. So instead of being like that, so if you walked in Queen's Hall where the tower is there, it was kind of like a 45 degree. They had a huge pipe organ in there. It was multi-levels. It was amazing. But the land was sold or rented to GMPT for the bus station. At least that's the opinion I get of it. And it was remodelled, which is where you get the stained glass window that you can see from the bus station, which has now been remodelled itself, which we covered a few years ago on the playlist for the new bus station in Wigan with the John and John, which someone watched recently and reminded me about, and I kind of forgot about it because it felt like a lifetime ago. But it wasn't. It was fairly recent. Another thing that it's got, which I've kind of hinted at, is blue plaques. Now, I do like blue plaque, unless it's on my teeth, in which case I'm not keen, being brutally honest with you. Why is that doing that? I don't know. There we go. So, yeah, two blue plaques. One we're going to cover at a later date, but the first one we're going to cover right now, in the section which is called
BluePlaque, Margery Booth. Who is Margery Booth? Well, you can find out by scanning the QR code, or alternatively, you can watch this.
BluePlaque, 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 BluePlaque. So yeah, this is Margery Booth, and you're all like, who? And I'm like, yeah, Margery Booth. I was like that as well, to be fair. But Margery Booth was a incredibly amazing woman. I mean, you know, people say, you know, these days that, you know, women are, you know, behind everything and they're fantastic and all that kind of thing. They always have been. There's always been a woman doing something that is amazing. And Margery Booth was definitely one of those people. Yeah, she was born in Wigan. She fought, well no, many Wiganers fought for their country both on the battlefield and on the home fronts. And some fought in the dangerous world of spying. And this is where Marjorie Myers comes in. Margery Myers Booth was an international opera singer who became a spy and captivated Adolf Hitler. She was born in 1906 in Hodges Street, Wigan. They later moved to Southport, but then she joined the town's operatic society as a teenager. She trained as a singer in Bolton at the Guildhall School of Music, where she won a scholarship in 1925. Her professional debut was in the Queen's Hall, Wigan, on the 4th of October 1935. The year my mother was born, 1935. She's 90 next year. She's also the mezzo-soprano at the Covent Garden Opera House, and she visited Hollywood to appear in a film of Aida. She got married in 1936 to Dr. Egon Strom, who was the son of a wealthy German brewing family, and then moved to Germany. When the Second World War started, she was a singer with the Berlin State Opera and one of Adolf Hitler's favourite singers. The first meeting was thought to be around about 1933, and Hitler was so enamoured he went to a dressing room and told her how elegant and lovely he thought her. The following day he sent her a basket of 200 red roses, tied with a ribbon with a swastika on it, of course, why wouldn't he? And a card saying Adolf. It's like, how do we not know about this person? We've got this one plaque and that's it. The Toff's back with his little links. And she was allowed to perform for British prisoners of war at camp in Gensheim near Berlin and help prisoners send coded messages to London. She even performed for the Führer with ciphers inside her costume. However, in 1944 she was arrested by the Gestapo as a suspected spy, and even though she was tortured, she did not reveal any information. When she was released, she went west and was liberated by the advancing US Army, and she ended up in New York. In 1952 she died at the tender age of 46, which is no age whatsoever. But what a life! And why do we not know about Margery Booth? Why is Margery Booth this enigma when she was born in Wigan and she was a national hero in World War II? Absolutely amazing. And thank you to the Queen's Hall for allowing a plaque to be put up in their hallway. The other plaque we will look at another day. There's the Queen's Hall, kind of very quickly. And there's other plaques in this place, so we're looking at that as well. But that was, Margery Booth. Well-deserved blue plaque for, you've got to be brave, haven't you, to go up against Adolf Hitler. More so when he knows you. And you're married to a German. It was, amazing stuff there. So, I'm just in awe, genuinely. Now, if you've been watching for a while and you watch the eventual correct Wigan Watch, where I walk around Wigan and have a look at what's going on around Wigan bit, you remember I said I was a bit drunk. And you're like, why were you a bit drunk, lad? Well, it's because I went somewhere that's in plain sight, but very few people know about. I say it's in plain sight, it's down an alley, but the alley's in plain sight as well.
I'm in a brewery. Anyway, you do it, yeah, nice balance, nice balance.
Welcome to my pub. Might be a career change.
Well, you can always have a job here, man. You can have my job.
There you go. Cheers. Yeah, as you could tell, I was concentrating quite hard then. I didn't want to pull a pint like the king, because he just pulls crap pints. But it was Wigan Brewhouse, which is sited next to the former post office down an alleyway. And what's amazing about it is the room that we're in, you can actually hire for parties. So like Christmas do's, I would imagine, would be amazing there. And you know, family get-togethers. The only thing I would mention is the stairs are incredibly steep because it is a very old building. So it's not accessible unless you're quite good at getting around. But it's well worth the effort, and I strongly recommend that if you can, you actually go there, because yeah, it was a very, very, very enjoyable evening, and you get to pull your own pint as well. You can even concentrate like I did, because I was concentrating like buggery then. Oh, hiya Viva Mark. I am very well, thank you. Hope you're well too. Now, I was talking about a map. Now, this is in Queen's Hall, this map, and it's a map of Wigan Town Centre. But this map is only from 1982. But that was before the Galleries was built. So it's 42 years old, this map. And if you lived in Wigan 42 years ago, this is going to give you some memories. I didn't. I only moved to Wigan 89, 90. So for me, the Galleries, Market Gate was already there. But this is old school. This is prior to that. So shall we have a look at a map? Because we can.
So this is it. This is when it was the co-op. Now this is the ground floor, so this is the floor that you walked in off the bus station, which isn't there, because this is an old map from the 1980s. And this bit here was the bottom bit of the co-op, and then this was the entrance, which you've seen pictures, is the bottom entrance on Woodcock Street, i.e. this is where the shoe zone shop used to be. And this is the entrance underneath where the, what was it called? The cafe was. But if you look here, the food hall was directly underneath Marketplace, and the food hall is, most people remember as being Index. Then we've got another picture here, another part of the map, which shows that the co-op upstairs on Wood Street had a department and various other areas, but you also had the walk-in. Now this is the interesting bit, because this here, as far as I can make out, is the bit that is still there. This is the concrete that we're looking at. So when you stand on Market Street, or Marketplace, and look that way, this concrete is all still here, because, well, they didn't rebuild it when they turned it into Market Gate. So yeah, and you're thinking, where have you got this map from? Well, this is Wigan, a look back to shops and businesses in 1982. And my word, it's changed. So if we pull out a little bit further, you can see here the old Market Square. You've also got the old bus station, the original bus station, and the indoor market, all of which obviously got demolished a few years after this map was made. Maybe the reason the map was made in the first place. My shop that was in the galleries was in this rough area, not exactly sure where, but I always thought it was near the bus station, but this has pretty much confirmed it, because if you look over here, this is where the multi-storey car park is now, and that's the road next to it. That there, Smith's, is now the Art Foundation shop, and directly opposite that was the walkway. The toilets were here, and my shop was pretty much there. So I think my old shop was in that vicinity. But then look at this, you've got banks, you've got Barclays Bank, you've got loads of other stuff. How many of these shops do you remember? So this is Main Street, If there's any I remember at all, and I don't think there is. And then you go down Standish Gate, and you go all the way to where the now is the dual carriageway, but back then wasn't. Toy and Hobby, I vaguely remember a Toy and Hobby being in Wigan, but I might have dreamt that, or I might have just seen pictures. The White Horse Hotel, still there. Emlo, C&A, which is now Primark, vacant, which I think now is McDonald's, to be fair, because it is next door, isn't it? And then you've got loads of other bits. Tops Tiles down Crompton Street. And then if you pull out further, we've got Debenhams, the original Debenhams. You've got Lotus Footwear, you've got Marks and Spencer's, you've got Woolworths, which most people will remember more recently as being WH Smith's. It was also for a little while, what was it, Menzies. And then you got the ABC Cinema, which a lot of people know as the Ritz. And then you come around the corner, and this would be roughly where Wigan Pier was, but it had already gone by then. I think it had been burnt down. Wigan Casino, already burnt down, I think, by that point. But then you've got Station Road, which is basically now the entrance to the Grand Arcade, and it actually follows the same route round. So my shop now is round about here somewhere. I didn't know these shops were here. And then you got the Ship Hotel. I did go to the Ship Hotel once. It was a Yates's Wine Lodge when I went. And then you come up and you've got the Weend, and then you've got, which is now the restaurant there. All the bits and pieces going on. You've got the Makerson's Arcade, all the units there. And you've got all this going on as well in the background. Now, a lot of this has been demolished and rebuilt and then demolished again. Although Ratner's Jewellers, the unit is still there. The NatWest Bank obviously still there as well. And then you come into the main marketplace. So you've got all the shops and everything that were there at the time. And before the banks were there was Lowe's department store. And also Dixon's and Curry's next to each other. I don't think it was the same company then. Thomas Cook as well. They've not really moved, have they? They've kind of stayed in the same place. And then a little walk through to the church, although the church isn't on the map because this is about businesses. And then you go down to the head post office, which is no longer a post office, currently for sale. And then you've got all the other units going down King Street and Library Street as well. So absolutely amazing map of the history of Wigan, and fairly recent history as well. 1982. It's even got the original JGB Sports on it as well. And might be where the map is. The Methodist Hall, aka Queen's Hall, but I can't tell you that. Anyway, fascinating. I do love a map.
So there you go then. A quick blast from the past. What was going on in Wigan in 1982. One thing that I didn't point out, but I did notice later on, is the fact that there are not one, but two NatWest banks. The second one being at the top of King Street. Obviously the one that's still there is still NatWest Bank, and it was in 1982 as well. And various other banks dotted around. And like I said on the video, Lowe's, which was the department store that a couple of people who'd been in the shop said they worked at when they were school children, like Saturday jobs, that kind of thing. And then Woolworths. Now I did a walk around Woolworths on a previous Wigan Watch, and I went upstairs. Now you've not been allowed upstairs for a considerable length of time. WH Smith's, if you're not familiar with where Woolworths was, last shop that was there was WH Smith's. I had a wander around, and I went up the stairs, and I pointed out to one of the builders. I said, because I saw them through the door, and I said, those stairs are a little bit swanky, aren't they, for behind the scenes? Because normally when you've got stairs that are not for public use, they're just concrete stairs, or metal stairs. They're not fancy with a nice handrail and plastic tiles on them and all that kind of thing. They're just basic stuff, cheap and cheerful. And I was allowed to go up there. I had to wander around, and yeah, that was where the food court was, where basically Woolworths had fridges, freezers and various other shelves where you could actually buy grub. And a lot of people just think of Woolworths as pick and mix, but no, back in the day they were pretty decent. The only Woolworths going now that I'm aware of are actually in Australia. They're not related whatsoever, but they've been in trouble with the Australian government, along with Coles and other massive Australian supermarkets, for possibly price fixing, allegedly. Anyway, the government are looking into it in Australia. If you want to know more about that, keep an eye on my weekly news programme where I am very opinionated. Not that you would have guessed that from this. Well, maybe you would. Just mention something random. I'll have to think of something completely random and see if you can find that. Anyway, talking of supermarkets, when I go to Staley Bridge, which I do averagely once a week, although not at the moment because Mother's in and out of hospital like it's going out of fashion. Currently in hospital as we speak, probably out again by tomorrow. 89 though, so, but I go to Tesco in Staley Bridge when I'm doing a shopping, and they have stuff that we don't get in Wigan for months and months later. That Yugo crappy sushi thing, they had it a long while before we got it in Wigan. Overpriced crap as far as I'm concerned, but anyway, as long as everyone's making money from it and the people who enjoy sushi are enjoying it, then it doesn't really matter, does it? But look what they've got as well. One of the big problems we've got at the moment, particularly with the changing climate, is fridges, and they are completely knackering up. And Tesco has had major issues, particularly through heat waves, of the fridges just breaking down and the freezers breaking down. You can go in and they're all sealed off. At the moment, Boots in the Grand Arcade for nearly 2 weeks now has had no fridges working. So it was interesting when I went in Tesco a couple of weeks ago, and I filmed this last week, that they've got some really swanky new fridges, which I would imagine are going to save them a lot of money. The reason why is because, pardon me, they're really, really cool. Take a look at this. It's a very short clip.
How cool is this? New fridges in Tesco Staley Bridge, coming to a Wigan store near you soon, I would imagine.
Told you it was a short clip. They don't like me filming when I'm inside supermarkets, so you have to do it very discreetly. I like being discreet. Discreet is my middle name. Actually, it's not. It's not at all, not even remotely. Anyway, I think that is it for this Wigan Watch. Like I say, we've covered the main breaking news, which was a couple of weeks ago. I was hoping to actually get, some signage of work starting actually on the market, but it's imminent. And imminent, as we now know, is not immediate. It's imminent. I was also a little bit disappointed when I went to see Hay Hall that it was still surrounded by scaffolding. I was like, that was a bit frustrating, wasn't it? But yeah, it is what it is. Anyway, huge shout out to the people who've joined in the chat. We've had 140 viewers. We've got 27 people watching now. We've had 6 likes. Obviously, you can disagree with what I say. This is merely my opinion, but we're coming up to an hour. So despite the complete mess for the first 15 minutes with technical issues, we've done quite well to keep it within the hour. So a big shout out to Michael, Toff TV, Oopsie Daisy, Robert Brown, Trick or Treats, Viva Mark, and yeah, I hope you've enjoyed it. Don't forget, Wigan Watch is a regular feature on this channel, and hopefully we will be seeing something. Josh, welcome. We'll be seeing some exciting stuff in the future. If it's Josh, I think it is. I hope you like the bit on the Queen's Hall. It kind of cobbled it together, but I think it worked. Anyway, oh, I've turned into Boris. But yeah, political stuff is on a Sunday. Gaming is usually on a Saturday night, and then random other stuff coming on. Interesting personal news. I bought myself a new air fryer. It's a posh one. Yeah, So yeah, new air frying recipes coming up as well. There's a lot going on. I always say to people, this channel is very much like Channel 5, only without the budget or the talent. And it was run by, this broadcast was run by Wigan Council for the first 15 minutes, but we got there in the end. That's what they do as well. This is brilliant. Keep up the good work. Hilarious. It's not hilarious, Thomas Clark, when it doesn't work. But yeah, thank you. I try and keep things light-hearted though. Life's too short to take things too seriously. Especially when you get to my age. It's a big birthday in a couple of weeks. Anyway, look after yourselves, stay safe, and I will see you for the next Wigan Watch. If you like these live Wigan Watches, then please click like. It's a lot of hassle. It's much easier for me to do them pre-recorded, but I think it's good to get a bit of interaction from people when we do it, and it also makes it more interesting for me when it goes wrong and I have to solve the problem while people are watching me and crying with laughter. Yes, Robert, I'm talking about you. Anyway, thank you. 1 hour and 1 minute, 2 minutes coming up. It's been fun. I will see you all again next time. Until then, goodbye. Oh, hang on a minute. No, what am I doing? Oh, I nearly forgot the most important bit then. So yeah, until next time, goodbye.
Wigan Watch.
Wigan Watch. Wigan Watch.
Wigan Watch.
Wigan Watch.
Wigan Watch.
Wigan Watch.
Wigan Watch.
Wigan Watch.